I've seen this trend of women expressing that they're no longer interested in dating as a result of their previous relationship, the last man that they were with. And it's funny, for me, it's my son. And I feel like we need to open the door on this conversation so that we can acknowledge that it's not just men romantically, but it's men generally. And it's deeply connected to how men are socialized. But for me, my son was the one draining my life force. And it's so funny because we went no contact unintentionally, believe it or not, but we went no contact for about 2 years. And during that 2 years, this is what I looked like. And then we reconnected, and he came and he moved back into my house. This was after he was 21. He came back to my house, and he came back with his partner and their child. And by the time I made a decision to go no contact with him again, and hopefully for the final time, this is what I look like.
All right, so listen, y'all. Listen, let's just have a little bit of a conversation. Let's take a step back. Let's think about our decisions. And let's first say that we appreciate these people for sharing their stories and being so candid about how they see things and how they feel that we definitely want to give them the credit that they deserve by making sure that we leave a link in the description for you to go back to their profile, check them out, show them some love if you like what it is that they're talking about. And more importantly, we always like to give our content creators credit because it's the right thing to do. So that link will be in the description, along with you guys making sure you tap into the Patreon. That link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Now, after you've subscribed and after you've hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, we're definitely going to break this down. So the first thing that we're going to say is I don't see much of a difference personally with the pictures that she posted of how she look any different. The only thing I see is her hair is a little bit combed. And let me go ahead and play it again.
This is what I look like.
Is this supposed to be an example of you really, really being in a great space and your life force is full of greatness now that you've decentered your son? Because me personally, and I'm just really, really trying to be objective with this whole thing, me personally, I don't see it. Like, I don't see the big difference outside of you doing different poses with different clothes and you doing your hair different. And so now that we got it in the afro mode or it's a little bit spiked up, this is supposed to be the fact that your son has drained your life force. Okay, all right, well, let's roll with that. Let's assume for the sake of conversation that her life force is drained. And the correlation that she's trying to make with this whole conversation is that it's not just the men that women are in a relationship with, it's all relationships tied to that woman, such as her son. And so she's trying to say that, and specifically, and I quote, she said, it is the way that they're socialized, and is basically she blaming it on the culture and what is going on, when in reality, he's your son. He's your son. Like you don't have anything or anybody to blame, not the culture, not reality, not any of this type of stuff. If anything, you have to take responsibility for the monster that you raised, assuming that he's the monster. So if anybody has to be responsible or take accountability, it's you. It sounds like you raise a son husband. It sounds like you're not really that great of a parent. And now they all are using the same rhetoric, the same language. They are all saying things like decentering my man or decentering men. And now it's decentering the son. And so the whole logic behind decentering is that they basically don't give a F anymore, or they're not focused on this person, or they're not trying to add value, or they're not trying to do this, and they're trying to listen. I've seen and I've had conversations with enough guys and enough coaching sessions and had enough panels to where I know that there are a lot of women that were absolutely positively horrible parents. 100%. And one of the ways that I know that is because we're not even having a conversation about a father. Who is a father? How did you raise him? What was the circumstances in the environment? Is he similar to his mother? Is he similar to his father? Did you have a great co-parenting situation? Did you break up your family? Did you walk away? Did you Were you proactive in vetting for a right person that you should have had children with in the first place? If we're not asking these questions, and the only thing that we're saying, and people are jumping in the comments and saying, oh, yeah, no, yeah, girl, it's all of them and all of this. The main thing that I think that we need to really, really address in the culture, in the community, in America, all across the board, is there are a lot of women that are getting pregnant that are not being mindful, that are not absolutely positively vetting for the person that they decide to open up their legs with and have children with, that are having children out of wedlock, that are breaking up their families, that are not choosing the right men to be fathers for these men, for these sons. I don't even see conversations about fathers in the picture. And now they raise them to be son husbands, in which they then had to initially become interdependent on them, and then they want to throw them out to the wolves and say, "Oh man, I want to decenter my now I'm decentering my son." So decentering all men also include your children. So then he came back and he lived with you. I'm assuming that he didn't pay rent. Maybe he paid rent or whatever. And so he brought his family. And so now you're saying that you were stressed as a result of it. And so as a result, you now look different. You looked.
I made a decision to go no contact with him again, and hopefully for the final time.
And they're using terms like going no contact.
This is what I look like.
I'm trying to figure out what's the correlation. And honestly, listen, you guys let me know inside of the chat. I'm curious when I get these videos. When I get these videos, I try to be as objective as possible. And so, I just, I don't. What are y'all trying to prove? Maybe that's the question that we need to ask ourselves. When you get on these apps, and don't get me wrong, don't stop talking. I'm very thankful for these conversations. I appreciate you guys. When you get on these apps and you make yourself look dumb and you refuse to take accountability and it's always everybody else's fault, what is it that you're trying to do? Are you trying to get a community? Are you trying to get support? Are you trying to get like-minded people that are also toxic and don't have results? Are you trying to get people that make you feel better about your situation? What is it that you guys are trying to do? Because I know why I'm here. I'm here to use certain people as an example in order to exercise a point so that people will hopefully learn from their decisions and be a better version as a result of it. Absolutely. And I think that I'm pretty successful when it comes to the things that I've been doing. Now, when these people are saying this and they talking about they decent, are you just trying to get your shit off so you'll feel better? Is it like a therapy session? Do you feel better when you see certain comments? What is it? What is it that you guys are hoping to accomplish when you have these conversations? I'm just curious. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Maybe I'm off.